Right, good morning everyone. Now, the other day I showed you how to make the Christmas bauble. So I'm going to do that today, but this time we're going to do a shabby chic one. Because I do know that not everybody goes Christmassy. A lot of people decorate their trees quite modern now with modern day baubles, if you know what I mean. Shabby chic, vintage, whatever. Now I've got some of this lace which I'm going to use. I'm just going to cut a couple of pieces about 12 inches long. I don't want to be working with the whole thing under the desk, so right now I'm just going to use some satin fabric, and it's just a remnant that I had left, some lace, some wadding. I only need the one piece at the moment. And then what I've done is I've cut two discs out, and I just took a lid, drew round it and cut two pieces out. You're going to need two. I'm also going to need a little bit of cording. And I've got this particular one. I do have the satin one. Now, I've told you before on the last video, I no longer have the shops. I've shut them down. But I do have all the old stock that's left on Vinted. So it's only selling on the UK. But if you're overseas and you still want to go and buy something, and remember, it's dead stock now because I don't have the shops. So it's even cheaper than it was before when it was on the shop. So run along to it's vinted.co.uk and look for jennings644. I've kept the name so you know who I am. And there's dozens and dozens of things up there for sale at the moment, because I've got left with stock since I shut down and I need to sell it. I don't need it. I've got everything I need. So what I'm saying to overseas people, if you go along, if you can open vintage.co.uk, not vintage, Vinted, V-I-N-T-E-D, and look under Jennings644, all small letters. If you see anything on there, drop me a message, and you can do that at fiona.freestylecrafts@gmail.com. I will write that down for you. Let me just put it on a piece of card, just so you know. And then tell me what it is you want, and I'll take it from there. It's just as easy, isn't it? So it's Fiona, all small letters, dot Freestylecrafts, which is one word with an S on the end, at gmail.com. So I'll just leave that on the screen for you for a minute. But email me there and tell me what you want off the shop. I'm sorry, but it is only for UK sellers. But because you're overseas, if you are, then I can take things down and delete them off the vintage page, and then I can invoice you them via PayPal. Okay? But just drop me a line here with your, well, obviously I'll get your email, but whichever you use for PayPal, drop that in the message and with your item, and I will email you, shoot you off an invoice, and you'll be able to still purchase from me. But that's the only way I can do it for overseas. If you're UK, just go on there, look for Jennings644, and then just order what you can. Okay? Now, the thing about Vinted that I found, because it's the first time I've ever sold on there, last week, if you want more than one item, do a bulk buy, because otherwise they're giving me singular labels to print out, and you can't do that on a parcel, so you only need one label. So if you're going to buy more than one item, bulk buy it. You go through it, it'll tell you how to do it as you're shopping. Okay, so that's that. Now later on I'm going to be doing this flower, and this one I did many years, it's about 12-13 years ago, maybe even longer, but it's all made from card. I haven't coloured this one, but this one was all used with sprays. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make that particular flower, and it's gorgeous, very firm. I'm pressing down on that, it's very firm, and will last. I mean, I've had that, like I said, so long. I did have it on a project and I took it off when I got rid of the project, but I just thought, you know what, show them how to do it again. It's a lot, the video was up, but YouTube took it down when they were scamming all my videos, because I've had over 7,000 videos on YouTube, and again, it's jennings644 on YouTube. But because of the hassle I've had with YouTube, and they want to get rid of us, obviously they don't want us around, they actually deleted over 3,000 videos, which I was very peed off at, because there was no mention about doing it. They just did it, and then they unsubscribed all my subscribers, and that's why many have been taking time to come back or hard to find, because I mean, they've even told people, or the message has got out to me, I'm not here, I'm not alive, I'm dead. So, yeah, just but then the arseholes did that as well, didn't they, if you remember? But there you go. Anyway, so like I say, I'm going to come back and show you how to make that flower, and that's where to contact me. And then on top of that, we're going to now do a Christmas bauble, and you're going to need 2 discs, some wadding, some cording, bit of lace and a bit of material. So now what I'm going to do is I have to cut just one of these. This is a front facing padded bauble, okay? So you don't need, I've got my glue gun on. Let me just see if I can work this, because my glue gun doesn't always work, I have to tell you folks. Okay, just turn that upside down, pop that to the edge, press that down, and then I can cut around it. I'm just going to quickly cut it off first, move that out of the way, and then trim it. Now, don't do it too close. I mean, you can do it as close as you want, but I tend to leave a little bit, because it helps the padding on the edges. Like that. Okay, never waste those come in handy. We just spread it, pull them like that, and you end up with some wadding. Okay, so here we go. So I've got that now I'm going to cover it. So I've got my fabric. Now the thing is with fabric, when you're doing a padding, you need to press it down when you glue it. So first of all, what I'm going to do is just to cut a circle. And you know what, it's easier to do it that way. And do that. And once you've done that, you've at least cut a kind of circle. So that will fit into there. You want it wadding side down, shiny side down. Okay, now first of all what I'm going to do is to snip. I'm going to just spin that around a little bit so that that one covers it. Grab your material and pull that over. So I'm going to push that one down and pull that one across. So you've more or less got that covered, and that's fine. Don't worry about these, like I said. Oops. Now, what we need to do then is turn that over. We need to get the length of our hanger. Now, if it's hanging on a tree, you don't want them too long, but you want them long enough. So I always leave plenty in the middle. because that gives it a good strong hold. Like that. And then we're going to snip that bit off. Like that. Gives you a little bit, and you can lever that back. Now get my little dobber and press that down. And then you take the backing, which you can cut slightly smaller if you want. And you put this on there like that. Now, all I'm going to do with mine is to cut mine down. I'm not fussed about that because, as I say, we are going to cover it. And then what I'm going to do is turn that over. Now, it is gathered, but I'm going to gather it a little bit more. So all I'm going to do is pop this on here. Just do about 1 inch at a time. You don't need to do too much. Just gather it that little bit more. And then as you work around, pinch. Like that. That's fine. I'm quite okay with that, actually. Just pull that one back a little bit, and that one. Yeah, look. I mean, you could just make these for decoration in your bedroom or whatever you want. But they do look nice as Christmas decorations. Now, do you remember the other day I made these? And I just loved them. And to be honest, you don't need any more than that. And that is all I'm going to put on mine. Oh, no. No. Wait a minute. I am going to, however, use some beaded string. So I'm just going to get myself some pink beaded. But you can literally do anything with them. I basically just want to trim mine around. So I'm going to start at the bottom. Yeah, so I've been selling off all the stock. Because I don't want to be left with it. It's no good to me. I've no shop, so... And it is sad because I've had the shops... well, I've had a shop for over 15 years. But, you know, economy is bad and people just don't have the money any longer. And if you're not registered as a business, be careful. I forewarned you before. I mean, I was registered. Now I just need one bead to sit in there. I cut that one bead too short, but hey ho, not a problem. But there's the hanger. Maybe should have been a bit longer. I wasn't going to put the lace on. Well, I didn't know whether to, let's put it that way, but I decided to do that. But then, like I said, let's get some more glue in here. I just made these and I wanted to use them up. And I'm just going to sit this in the middle like that. Make sure that's lined up. And then make beautiful, beautiful tree decorations. Now I've shown you how to do these. It's not hard. Small seed bead, large pearl, seed beads. Do them all different lengths, layer them, and then do shorter ones. I did cut the middles out of the ones that were I've done before, and that made a nice little arch. And I just think that's a beautiful, beautiful decoration. And then all I'm going to do, like I say, is put another one on the back there. So, where did I put my little bit of card? Now I gauge mine. I don't always, I did cut round the lid, but I generally just gauge what I have. It's easy for me. And I just trim the corners off. So just take hold, pop that on there, and that'll do. That's fine. And there you go. That's your beautiful, very quick, very easy. Now you can make a batch of these and just sell them. You really can. So that's that one. Now the other one I wanted to do, again, we're going to use the chipboard because we're going to need it. Do a very similar one. So I've got some ribbon, and I love this because it can look Christmassy. But first of all, we just need to cover it with the fabric again. So again, I'm just going to fold it in half, fold that in half again. And then trim that around. Gives me near enough a circle to work with. Yeah, that'll do, because the beads are going to cover it as well. You should never ever fuss when you're crafting, because you can always change something or put something right. Always that. I actually just like it across the middle there. So that's all I'm going to do. I don't need to burnish the ends because it's not going to be seen. You know, it's not harming it at all. It's not. It won't get ruined or anything like that. So I've done it from there. Like that. Turn this over. Flatten that down. And that gets caught up in the middle. That's cushioned between the front and the back. So we're doing that now. Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine with that. And I have some pearl, because you don't have to have these. Look at that, doesn't that look beautiful? It does actually. I'm just going to do that, and I think what I'll do is put some on either side. Now I have to manoeuvre this right. Like that. And I may just want to snip that. I'll leave that on for now because I might tuck it on the edge. I don't know. And do the same on this side. That's it. Now, I've got to have that lined up. That's it. Oh, yeah. See, they can be anyhow you want. You could have them diagonal, crisscross, doesn't matter. Now, I do need something for the centre of that. Well, from the shop, I have these left. Look. Oh, and I just think that alone is going to look stunning. So I am going to just put that on. right in the middle, like that. Let's see where the hanger is, there. Oh, just look at that. Now, I've not done anything else with it, have I? I could have made a handmade flower for it. It's just whatever you've got, look around. I'm sure you can find lots of goodies that you can join together, mix and match to actually make something beautiful. Now that's nice, I like that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these just yet. We'll see. So now what I'm going to do is leave that to dry, and I'm going to put the lace on this piece. Remember, we've got the back to go on, but I'm going to use this piece. I think, is it this one or that one? We'll use the longer one. I want to make sure there's plenty of gather. So just going to trim this down. Start on about 1 inch. That's all you need. Don't overdo it. Now remember to pinch, and I'm going to put the edge of this here to the edge of that, so that way I know I've got it even. And like I say, I'm only doing 1 inch at a time because I don't want to, I don't want to ruin it. And although, like, I've dropped it now, but although it's, like I say, gathered, it is gathered lace, I'm gathering it a little bit more. When I first started buying this lace in for the shop, what we had, my early shop, this lace used to be as gathered as that, but they've started to skimp and scrape, and they've stretched it out so it's not as gathered. Like I say, I will be putting more of this for sale up on the Vinted page, because I've got loads of it left from when I had the shop. I just sold a whole, I think it's 25 metres of this in one job lot. The only thing I found with Vinted, you're not allowed, for some reason, to put more than one item. Like say if I was selling 6 metres of this, I couldn't put 6 metres and 6 lots of it. You have to just put one lot. That's the only thing about Vinted. So for somebody who shut a shop and were trying to get rid of stock, it is a little bit... As soon as somebody buys that first 6 metres, I can then put it up again. But you can't put more than one up at a time. That I found very strange. But hey ho, that's their site. It's worked for me up to, you know, up to now. That'll do. I'm just going to do that. See, I like that. And then this one is now going to, there's the bottom, and this one is now going to sit on there. Look at that. How beautiful is that? Yes. Right. So that's the bottom. That needs to be the top. Fix that on there. Oh, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Now I'm not going to pin these down just yet, because again, I want to put the pearl on. It was a little bit too short, so what I'm going to do is just to hold this, pull it out like that, push that in, just push that in there where the gap is, like that, and just seal that back up. That's it, done, fixed. And again, we just have to put the little back on. I don't think we need the back on actually, although it's slightly bigger. Shall we? Yeah, I'm gonna. I'll just slot that on the back, pin that down. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've just covered that a little bit more, and I think, no, that one's okay. I think that'll do. Just needed covering a little bit more, that's it. So, I've now made 2 perfectly good. You can make them, you know, like pomanders, so you can put like lavender in here instead of the wadding. You'd really fill it out with that. And or just carry on doing, if you're doing a shabby chic tree. Look at that. And you could do a whole set of them. Put this here again, just so you can see. And it's Vinted. .co.uk, and look up jennings644. It's all one word, just as it is on YouTube. So you can contact me here at fiona.freestylecrafts@gmail.com. Look up vinted.co.uk. Go on their website, look up jennings644. That's for all UK sellers, UK buyers. And then anything that you want, if you're an overseas person, send it on that email. And I can quickly take it from the page and sell it that way. Invoice you for it all. Okay? I will be putting loads more up. But remember, there's I can only put 1 pack of needles up at a time. 1 of anything. They won't let you put quantities up at all. I don't know why, but it's their, you know, it's their website, so it's up to them. It's unwanted things, and I've no shop anymore, so it is unwanted stuff. It's unwanted stock. I've had to take my rings off because I've got, you know, like skin that's coming off, peeling off, falling apart. Anyway, like I say, yeah. So UK, go to vinted.co.uk, jennings644, look me up there. Bulk order, don't order just 1 item if you want more than 1. Bulk it together. I think they bundle it, I'm not sure what it's called, but you can do it on the thing. Otherwise, you'll have everything delivered individually, and it's a bit silly because it's costing you more money that way. Now, as soon as I put things up, things are selling fast. And it makes you laugh. It really makes you laugh because it just, some fly out that you don't expect, but it has. And I have to get rid of all my stock. So all stock will be going. So keep dropping by there if you're from the UK. If you're overseas and you can get onto it, look, write it down what you want, put the price along so that well, I'll say it anyway. And send me the list as soon as you can, and then I'll get on with that and invoice you for whatever you want. But I have tons to go on there, and there'll be all kinds of things, and I mean that literally, all kinds. Okay, another thing, and I will be back to show you how to do this flower. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye bye for now.